Good morning, NCC. Today is Wednesday, and I want to say thank you to Tammy for swapping with me yesterday. Just like maybe some of you, I had an off day yesterday where I was not walking according to the Spirit. I was full of my flesh, and everything was coming out very snarky. So anyway, I've been able to have some time alone with the Lord this morning, and hopefully this will come out right, and you'll hear what we're supposed to focus on today and not just my bad attitude. I do feel like the Lord has been showing me something. Actually, a week ago, we talked about how Peter went back to work. It seems like it was forever ago. Peter went back to work after the resurrection, and we started a hashtag, New Normal NCCLG. And it's funny because it's kind of like one of those things that when you buy a red car, you start noticing all the red cars on the road. When we started that, we started realizing that, wait, we're not the only ones doing this. There are a lot of people talking about new normal. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that if you are seeking the Lord, He's not double-minded. He's talking to His church at large. And He's telling us, He'll speak to us in different ways, but the voice of the Lord is clear. And so I think this is something that it's a theme that God is speaking to the church at large. And we were just discussing how, what does that new normal look like? And when we come to the end of this, I don't think it's going to be what maybe we were looking forward to, that we'll all rush back to church and we'll have a group hug and we'll say, phew, glad that was over. That was tough, but we're done. I don't think we're going to get that. I think that we won't just be able to move on and forget, because nothing's going to be the way it was. We're going to have to learn a new way of interacting. We've already had to learn new ways to do our jobs. We are learning a new awareness of how our behavior impacts other people. We're living this right now, and we can be part of defining what that new normal will be. You get to be part of that. Let's not surrender that responsibility to other people. Some of you have already posted that regardless of what the government says, you're not going to just mindlessly rush back into society. You're going to carefully consider the consequences of your behavior and your actions. And I celebrate that. I want us to think more along those lines. What else do we want to do differently in this new normal? Proverbs 23:23 says we can seek God and ask for wisdom. Right now we've got the time to think about it. So let's decide what stays and what has to go. I've had all kinds of excuses for the noise level in my life. And in the right now time, I have learned to be quiet. And it's something that I had not ever wanted to learn. I just never gave myself space to learn that. And I find that when I'm doing that, I have to guard my thoughts. I have to guard my emotions, because I can quickly slip into some kind of funk and feel numb, and a lack of passion and a lack of forward motion. It's funny, right now, our pastor is, this past Sunday, he shared a message, the first in a series called Forward. And I think that's so important for us as believers, that we have an eye toward the future, that we are always open to what is God calling us into deeper and higher. The Word of God tells us also to number our days. Well, it says teach us to number our days in Psalm 90:12. And as I was thinking about this morning, it's not just counting them. It's not like counting the days of this quarantine, or this many days till vacation, or this many days till Christmas. It's more of giving an account for them. How are we spending the gift of each day? Are we maximizing it? Are we growing in it? Are we moving forward in it? Colossians 4:5 says to make the most of every opportunity. What opportunities do we have right now? We have the opportunity to be still and to listen for the voice of God, and to hear what that new normal should be. What part in it are we going to define? Ephesians 5:15 says, be wise in how we live. Let's ask God for wisdom as we're thinking about the new normal, so that we can live in wisdom. Philippians 1:10 says, recognize the things that are excellent. What's worth fighting for in the new normal? What needs to just go away? And this one really hit me this morning. Ecclesiastes 5:1. It's kind of not what you'd think, but what I got from it is we need to worship differently. We need to listen more. I'll see if I can pull it up real quick. There it is. Ecclesiastes 5:1. As you enter the house of God, keep your ears open and your mouth shut. It is evil to make mindless offerings to God. That really just like knocked me off my feet this morning. How often have we entered the house and made mindless offerings? Gonna have to think on that one. So I just want to encourage you, we're going to be using that hashtag a lot, New Normal NCCLG, and it's not just for pictures of, you know, how you're spending your days or how you're worshiping with us online. It's also for what is God showing you? How is He teaching you in this middle time, as we are trying to discern what is worth fighting for in the new normal? What needs to go away? What opportunities do we need to make the most of? This is an opportunity right now, today. Today's a gift. We will be asked to give an account for it, how we spent it. Let's be mindful of how our behavior and choices impacts those around us. Let's spend our days wisely. Let's value and prize what is excellent. So I look forward to the conversation with you about what you are hearing from God about what the new normal might look like for you personally and for us as a family of believers at NCC.